Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/Entitled People. In today's episode, Entitled Ken felt entitled to my engagement ring. My former brother-in-law just found out I play Pokemon Go and demands I erase my account. Entitled brat stole my son's Nintendo Switch and claim is his. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Entitled Ken felt entitled to my engagement ring. So this happened a few months ago. I was doing my normal monthly grocery shopping at Walmart. I'm in the meat section getting what my family needs/will use for the month. I am terminally ill, so my weight fluctuates a decent bit. My fingers swell and shrink depending on what kind of day I'm having. At this moment, my hands were as small as they'd ever get. While putting a roast in my cart, my ring slips off and clangs its way through the bottom of the cart and onto the floor, where it bounced a couple of feet. Cue Entitled Ken. This man looks me directly in my eyes, picks it up and puts it in his pocket. I was shell-shocked and froze. I mumbled a quiet thanks and "Can I have my ring back?" He makes no move to give my ring back until an employee makes it known that she has seen the whole fiasco happen and would be calling the cops if he didn't hand it over. He mumbled something akin to, "I found it on the ground, it's mine." He immediately handed it to me, despite his protests. Like, what in the legitimate hell made him decide that he could just take my ring? He took finders keepers to a whole new level. It's one thing to find a ring someone dropped and didn't realize, as it's extremely unlikely they will remember when and where it went missing. It's another to just steal a ring in front of the person who dropped it. This happened to me in high school. I took off my rings to wash my hands. I turned to leave without them because I'm absent-minded and forgot, but before I open the door I remember and turn around just to see a girl slipping them into her pocket. I ask for my rings back and she goes, "What rings?" I reach into her pocket and just take them and she goes, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, those are mine." I just turn around and say no, they're not, and leave. It was truly bizarre. But I also expect high school girls to be a little bit more entitled than a grown man, like in this OP. I hope that guy goes home and stubs his pinky toe on every piece of furniture, and I hope the neighbors call the cops on him for all the noise he's making. I hope his bed is extra lumpy and he never gets a good night's sleep. He seems like a predator. Thank goodness that the employee witnessed this, because he clearly saw you as an easy target. People like him make me sick. Is predator the correct term here? He's a thief and asshole, but predator doesn't seem to fit his actions. My former brother-in-law just found out I play Pokemon Go and demands I erase my account. Okay, my former brother-in-law, FBILM38, wants me to have zero contact with his son. I am okay with that. I refuse to follow Phil's rules before and have zero contact, but I will not cater to outlandish demands like this one. I play Pokemon Go and been playing since it launched. I play with friends and my husband. We have been on this for a while, and my nephew used to play when his mother was alive. I barely know who is on or what, just that I send gifts and nothing else. Recently I got an email from FBIL demanding I stop playing since his son and stepson play. I am like, okay, whatever pal, and ignored the email entirely. He continued to email and then told a lawyer about it. There is nothing he can do to stop me, and I was just sent an email just asking to delete my nephew's friend profile from my account. I did that, hope that was enough to shut this entitled guy, FBIL, up. Yeah, no, he wants me flat off the game entirely. I mean, he has full custody of my nephew. What else does this jerk want from me? I don't even consider my nephew family anymore, and I practically erased all trace of my nephew's pictures from my Facebook and Instagram. I also erased contact information, but the guy does have email, but not a phone number or any other contact information. I emailed and told him that I am not deleting my account on Pokemon Go, so grow the hell up and leave me alone. I also said I would contact my husband's lawyer and we'd be in touch. He backpedaled and asked what he did. He contacted me after I told him to move on and leave us alone. I want nothing to do with him or my nephew. I am not going to do any requests or take threats lying down. It's just a game I play with people you called worse than drug addicts, so if *CKOFF. He hasn't responded since I sent that message, and I got called a *TCH by one of his friends because I actually had the gall to not fold to demands. I honestly don't get why FBIL can boss me around like I am some child. Also, I never requested visits with my nephew since 2022 and refused to send gifts. So what the hell? It isn't like his son can send me messages over Pokemon Go. I also told his lawyer, what they do is for them and them alone. I want no contact or any information if there is an emergency. I could care less if my nephew ends up in foster care if something happens to FBIL or his current wife. It isn't my fault or responsibility. His lawyer said I am fed up and don't want to deal with this anymore. In fact, his lawyer took my side, saying that the demands were outlandish and rude. FBIL can't tell me I can't attend anime, sci-fi, or events I have attended for years for fear my nephew would be attending. I am not interested in a relationship with a kid who I barely know anymore. So why does this guy, FBIL, get off talking shit? He is entitled and I want no desire to disrupt my own life to appease him. All because I play a game on my phone while walking to work. Get a restraining order that's at least 1,000 miles long and several years long. Oh, have been thinking about it. I barely even understand this. It makes no sense. You can't play the game just because he doesn't want you to? Is he insane? Slow? What's missing here? FBIL thinks his son can contact me through Pokemon Go, which I really have no idea how. It's not like he can hop a bus and get over to my house without changing multiple stops and takes half a day to do so. FBIL is being weird. He is entitled, but why are you not in your nephew's life? If you don't mind me asking. His father, FBIL, doesn't want me there, so I opted to not be there. Truthfully, I made that decision when FBIL got full custody and demanded I couldn't go to anime, sci-fi cons, or even volunteer anymore because he doesn't want my son turning out to be a nerd. Which my nephew already is. I keep a screenshot and trail of all his messages, so in the future if the nephew tries to build a relationship with you and wants to know why you weren't involved in his life, you can send him the facts that his father wanted you to have no contact, etc. That way his father can't claim it was your decision. Entitled brat stole my son's Nintendo Switch and claim is his. Long story short, my son attends elementary school, and since it is his first year in that school, he's still adapting. Somehow, the principal called me as there's a situation I have to discuss about a claim against my son stealing a Nintendo Switch. It was so weird because I bought him one a month ago, so it wasn't necessary at all. I said okay, and at the next day I went to the principal's office. Turns out a brat was claiming my son stole his Nintendo Switch, and even their parents were backing him, telling the principal how my son was delusional as he clearly didn't need to steal to have fancy things. That was so nasty. Anyway, I laughed at them and asked the parents if they feel okay teaching him to steal, and showed the principal the bill of the purchase, its box with serial number. They went pale. The principal gave them a lecture about integrity and gave the brat a 5-day suspension. At the end of the meeting, the principal told me this will never happen again, and the teachers are gonna keep an eye on that little brat in order to keep him away from my kid. I really don't know how they pretended to prove the Switch was bought by them, yet they had the nerve. I picked up my son from school and we went shopping a new video game he asked me for, and later I treated him pizza as he loves it. Well done, you handled that perfectly. The only thing I'd suggest, if you can link his unit to your phone via email or the online account. Also, use a Sharpie to write his name on the battery. You can use the parental controls app on your phone to attach the Switch to. It will store info about the specific Switch, and as a bonus, if needed, you can block the Switch from being able to be played. You don't actually have to limit anything in the parental controls to do this. I do because my kids need that, but I know some parents don't. Way to go! I hope the little bastage got all his electronics confiscated for a month or two. I don't know. No, his parents are clearly a bad role model with no integrity whatsoever. I think they'll do nothing. Do not send a child that age to school with expensive electronics. This will happen again, or someone will just flat out take it and break it. My son has a trauma due to foster care, and his psychologist suggested me to do it, as it helps him to deal with social anxiety and calm him down. Besides, my son attends a private school, many of the kids have similar electronics. Yeah, they didn't expect it would get to the point where the principal called you in. And when it got there, they didn't expect you to have the receipt with the serial number. What pieces of work! They actually are teaching their kid that it is okay to steal. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.